Hello and welcome again to Christine's Creativity Cabinet. Well, I found another crafting YouTuber that's become a favorite of mine. His name is Kimo, and he's from Hawaii, and he says all these Hawaiian words and stuff on his channel. But what I really like about him is that he has an ability to make some really high-end DIYs with simple materials and with very, very simple techniques that don't take a lot of skill. And that's the sort of thing that I like to do. And he recently did a really great video about making some kind of high-end looking Pottery Barn inspired wall art pieces. So I decided I wanted to make some high-end Pottery Barn inspired wall art pieces out of some simple materials, and these all have kind of a blue and white theme, because when I went on Pottery Barn's website, it was the blue and white things that kind of looked cool to me that I wanted to try to dupe. So I've got a bunch of them for you, and let's get to making. Okay folks, this piece could not be easier. Requires only two things. They now have these beautiful little float frames at Dollar Tree, and all you do is take the frame apart, and on the back piece of glass you stick a mandala wall sticker. Then you put the frame back together and you have a beautiful little mandala wall piece. And here they are. A high-end look for almost no effort and no cost at all. Okay, this one involves using my Cricut Joy, but I promise it's the only one that requires that. I discovered, to my delight, that I can cut with my Cricut Joy this Dollar Tree Backsplash vinyl sticker that you can get in a big sheet, and you just cut it with the Cricut Joy. You use the setting for just premium vinyl and you use your mat, and it works out well. So here I am weeding the piece. Then I traced around one of these Dollar Tree plaques that has the gold along the edge and cut out a piece that would cover the front of it. I trimmed it down just a little bit along the edges so that way those gold edges would show when I glued it onto the plaque. Then I took some Dollar Tree transfer tape. Yes, you heard that right. You can now get transfer tape at some Dollar Trees. And I used that to transfer my herb decal onto the poster board. And you see me doing that there. That actually worked really super well. I was really surprised at how well that worked, both in terms of the Dollar Tree transfer tape and the Dollar Tree Backsplash sticker being used in the Cricut. It just worked really well, and it gave me just the effect that I was looking for here. Took a little time to get it all peeled off there, but now I'm just taking my plaque and I'm going to take a glue stick and cover it with glue, and then I'm going to just glue that right down onto the plaque. I ended up making 4 of these, so that using basically the same process, and now here you see them all. They look so beautiful there together, and I just think this turned out to be a really great piece. For this one, I got a couple of these wall art pieces from Dollar Tree. I mainly just got them for the nice white frames. So I basically just took that apart, and then I used the back of the frame to trace around, as a template to trace around onto some nice Dollar Tree kind of linen textured white cardstock. And I cut that out to the right size. And then I have these stencils that I got in a set from Target's Bullseye's Playground. And I thought they would be just perfect for this. So I taped them down with some masking tape, and then I used some blue acrylic paint that I got from a set from Walmart, and I used the little brush that came with it, the little stencil brushes that came with it, and just dabbed that paint right on there onto the stencil. With this one, I actually kind of was going for a little bit of a primitive look, so I didn't really care that I got a little bit of the paint kind of outside of the stencil, and on parts where I didn't intend to, because those kind of flaws just kind of add to a piece like this. So now my paint is dry, and I'm taking apart the frame, and I'm putting my pattern piece into the frame. I ended up making 2 of these with 2 different patterns, and here they are. I think they turned out quite well. Super quick and easy again, and very high-end looking. For this piece, I used a photograph that I took at the Acrylic Court building in Omaha when I was doing my Omaha Walks project. I took this picture using my iPad facing down into a beautiful fountain that they had in the courtyard. So I took that and I made it into a square, and then I took this square wall art piece from Dollar Tree, took it apart, and traced around the back onto some more of that Dollar Tree linen texture cardstock. And then I took my square photograph and I just pasted that on to the middle using my glue stick. And then all I had to do was put it back into the frame. And here I am doing that. I had to trim it a little bit to get it to fit in there. And then here's my piece. I want to encourage you all to maybe see if you can make some beautiful pictures of textures that you could make a piece like this with. For this piece, I started with this 2-pack of square frames from Target Bullseye's Playground. I just took apart the frame and I took out the thing that was inside of the frame and turned that over so that it was just a blank white background, and traced around it onto some blue and white marbled Dollar Tree tissue paper, and then glued that on with a glue stick. And then I put it back in the frame. I had and then I forgot I needed to remove the protective plastic from the plastic that's kind of the glass of the frame. And here I'm having a little trouble getting it back in there, and I had trouble with getting the little flanges on the back to go and stay on there, and I realized later that it was because I had it misplaced in the frame. I should have turned it 90 degrees and then it would have stayed on. Anyway, I added 4 Dollar Tree puffy metallic stickers, and here are my finished pieces.